What's up, guys? Want to do some more cutting. This is a test of a couple different things for me. I'm going to be testing the S30V Spyderco Military Paramilitary 2. It's the DLC coded version. There's a couple things I want to test here. A lot of people ask me why I like S30V. I get a lot of messages asking about S30V since I sing its praises so much. Talk about the toothy working edge it develops, and people just kind of want to know what I'm talking about when I say that. So I'm going to try and get S30V into a toothy edge by cutting cardboard and a little bit of rope. I'm going to show you what that looks like and why it's better to me than low vanadium steels. This will lose its razor edge fairly quickly in my experience, but it will retain this edge that literally, if you looked at it on a microscopic level, has little carbide teeth sticking out. And those teeth are very, 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 very hard, and they essentially will not dull unless you grind it on metal or diamond or something like that. So pretty much the only way to dull an S30V knife is to either have carbide tear out, where the carbides are ripped out of the steel matrix, or you dull the carbides, which is very hard to do. So I want to show that and pretty much show how it develops and what it looks like and what it feels like. And I also want to test the durability of this DLC coated edge or blade. I want to see how well it holds up to cardboard, see if it scuffs, if it wears through, all sorts of things. So initial sharpness, if you can hear that, oh, it's so smooth. It's so sharp. I love S30V. The kind of edge S30V takes, people say all the time that S30V doesn't take a keen edge, or it's hard to get it sharp. It's neither of those things in my experience. So, just going to get to cutting this cardboard. This is different cardboard than the VG10 test, so we can't really equate the two tests. This is just solely to test S30V and its toothy properties. This cardboard is a lot harder to get through, so it may end up dulling the edge faster than the cardboard that I use for the VG10 test. Another thing that I want to mention is when I cut this cardboard with S30V in, not this cardboard, it was a different test. When I cut it with S30V in, it never developed a toothy edge, which was kind of strange. But if you think about the chemistry, it's not strange because there's less vanadium, and I think there's no vanadium carbides in it. I want to show you something interesting. See the scuffs? It's just from a few cuts. So this is a good test for people who wonder about the DLC coatings and how they hold up. A lot of people bash my tests on the forums. It's mainly because I think they feel they can do it better, or they would do something different or whatever. They're just really unappreciative, and I know you got, wow, the blade is hot. Warm. I know you guys appreciate it, and honestly, I do it for y'all, but a lot of people don't realize that I pay money for this stuff. It's not just sent to me. Well, some of it is, but I don't torture test those things. But things like this, this coating on my Paras 2, I don't know if it's going to ruin the coating or not, but this is my knife, so if it does, I'm left with a Paras 2 with a busted coating on it. Just so you guys know, how well it holds up. So I'm essentially risking destroying my stuff for y'all's benefit. So I'm not talking to y'all, the people who are subscribed to me, because I know y'all tell me all the time you appreciate it, but the people that comment and say, should have done this, should have done that, suck it. This cardboard right here is much easier to get through, and I hope I'm keeping this in frame. Let's see if we're at that toothy edge yet. I think we are, because you saw me just feel the edge with my fingernail. I felt what I thought were rolls, but I think that's just the carbides. I honestly think I can feel the carbides in the edge. I know they're microscopic, but I mean, I can feel the difference in between a smooth edge and you can, I think, hear it too. Listen. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's definitely got some tooth to it. I have this mountain of crap here. Okay, I'm going to cut about a 16-inch length of rope. Forgot how well these knives slice. All right, we'll test it again. Still sharp enough to do work. Still plenty sharp. I'm going to clear some of this crap out of the way. I know cleaning is very exciting. Alright, since it's still sharp, we're going to keep cutting. Although I really do feel like we're at that threshold where it turns from a keen edge to a toothy edge. Ooh, this is some nasty cardboard. Especially after that rope, because that's some nasty stuff. This cardboard is really nasty too. It binds up. Test it again. I don't know if you can hear the difference in that slice, but you can definitely hear the change in how loud it is. Will it shave? No, it will not shave. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. The rope dulled this knife, granted a little bit faster than just cardboard would have. But if you go back and watch my VG10 test, that knife retained a hair shaving edge longer than S30V. it retained the razor's edge longer than S30V. But long after VG10 has dulled to the point that it will not cut anymore, S30V will still have that toothy working edge, and it will still be slicing the cardboard almost indefinitely. So this is why I like S30V. Yes, it loses the razor edge pretty quickly. If you're looking for a knife that just holds a very, very, very keen edge, then S30V isn't the steel for you, because it will hold the keen edge under light tasks, but as soon as you put it up against something like cardboard or rope, it's going to lose the keen edge pretty quickly and then develop a toothy working edge. For me, I personally like the toothiness because it just continues to cut forever, for a long, long, long time. And I don't mind putting a razor's edge back on it. But if you would just rather have a razor edge than touch your knife up every once in a while to keep that, then you may not like S30V. And this is what I suspect when you hear people say, well, S30V doesn't hold its edge. I suspect that their knife is just developing a toothy edge pretty early on, and they're mistaking that for it going dull. They never actually cut with it long enough to know that the knife will continue cutting. So it's all about perception. Perception is reality, people. If they perceive that the knife has gone dull and then they stop there, then in their world S30V sucks because the knife went dull. They feel it doesn't shave anymore, and they just stop there, and then they declare that S30V is garbage. When in reality, if they kept cutting, they would realize that it just continues to work and work and work and work and work. I dulled the edge pretty significantly with those rope cuts, but it still just continues to go. If I would have done that with VG10, done the rope test, and then try and follow that up with some cardboard, it would have just not cut. As you can see, it's got some tooth in it, but it continues to slice. Continues to slice phone book paper. And that's still holding a fairly keen edge. I mean, for a knife to cut phone book paper, it has to be pretty freaking sharp. So it's not like S30V gets dull and then holds a dull edge. It holds a really nice, sharp working edge. I don't know what to cut to equate how well it keeps cutting. I guess we can see if it'll slice some teeth or a paper towel. And it will. I mean, it's not going to be a clean slice, but it will continue to cut. And things like cardboard, it will just cut it. I don't want to say indefinitely, because no steel will just cut indefinitely, but if there is a steel that will get close to that, it's the high carbide steels like S30V, CTS20CP, S90V, things like that. So anyway, this test was more for my curiosity about the DLC coating. As you can see, it has worn a fair amount. So I'm not sure if that'll clean up or what, but we'll see. And figured you guys might like to see how an edge on S30V dulls, which it's not really dull now. I mean, it would still cut cut the crap out of you. It's still sharp. So anyway, sorry if this video is boring. I didn't really have any objective when I started it. But thanks for watching. And if you did watch, thank you. And I'll see you next time.